And good afternoon, or good evening now I should say, and welcome to a new video. I'm just testing a new screen recording thing, so I'm trying to work it all out, but it has a few features that I wanted to use and I didn't have in the other one. Anyhow, let's have a look at the current radar image across southeast Queensland especially. Let me just, there we go, just zoom in a little bit there. So we've got a fair few lines of storms here, and over there, and some of these have been severe warned. And if we just we will see that they are moving in a general northeast direction. Now let me just remove the lightning. Remove the lightning. And you can see there's quite a lot of rainfall in those as they're tracking to the northeast. They may hold their strength as they reach the greater Brisbane area. So you could be in for a bit of a windy night coming up for a little while there. But this one round here, that one there, looks like it's generally moving towards the Brisbane area or just south of Brisbane. The bit on the north here is a little weaker. So just that area, once it stops and goes into my little circle there, that is a little weaker. That could actually head directly to Brisbane, but we'll see how that tracks over the next few hours. Elsewhere, the remnants of Cyclone Finna are still causing a few showers across the Kimberley, so just around here, and there are a few dot showers across the northwestern top end as well, but nothing dramatic at this point. Pretty much run out of steam. She's weakening and will likely become non-existent in the next day or two. Elsewhere in the country, we've got some storms over the centre. So just here, over in the Alice Springs area, they will, well, just east of Alice Springs now, they will likely track in this general direction. So affect communities and stuff out here. But they're not too bad, those ones. So there's not a lot of rain in them, as is often the case in outback storms. So these storms around here, they, as I said, they're generally tracking in a northeast direction, so they should go about that way. So this one could possibly reach Brisbane, so you just have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, they look like they're tracking to the northeast currently. So it should be a bit of a wet night, as I said earlier, throughout the southeast Queensland area as this line moves in. Now we will cross over to the forecast part of the video as usual. So here we have the sweat index for the southeast and northeast, southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales area. Now, as you can see by this area here, there's quite a high sweat index. So this is indicating that tomorrow we should see some severe weather around this particular area. Now, if we just move forward a little bit, and we can see that area of severe weather is contracting to mostly coastal areas there, up here. So we're in for another day of storms tomorrow. Now, if they just come through in the morning, I'm not entirely sure yet. It's impossible to really give you an exact time, but going off the modelling from late morning into the afternoon, we should see some thunderstorm activity firing up across the southeast Queensland area. Now, some of these could be severe, will most likely be severe, to be completely honest with you. And there could be a few supercells thrown in here and there. You never know. With the how high that sweat index is here, especially. This is up into the 400s, so it's definitely enough. The conditions are definitely primed enough for some more supercell activity. So that's basically what is on the cards tomorrow for the southeast Queensland area. As the day goes on, the conditions ease up quite dramatically, to be honest. And then you should have a bit of a respite. With not much expected on Friday. And when we get to Saturday, some thunderstorm activity should return to the region, but shouldn't be as bad as it has been the last few days. So once that stuff, basically an overview for you guys in southeast Queensland, once that stuff moves through tomorrow, it should clear up on Friday, and then on Saturday, because storms just love to form on the weekend, although they haven't this week. I think they started more in the weekdays, but anyhow, Saturday should see some increase in thunderstorm activity again across Queensland, especially the inland area seems to have the most chance at the moment. But it does look like a bit of widespread activity across a lot of the country there. And even the thunderstorm outlook has possible thunderstorms and things for a good chunk of the country there. But as you can see, like I said, there's possibility of thunderstorm activity, but very isolated in its severity. It looks like more up in the northern areas will be more likely to see that thunderstorm activity going off this particular thunderstorm outlook. Models will vary, so the actual area where it will fire up will vary as well. Moving on to Sunday, that thunderstorm activity is expected to start contracting more northeasterly. So along the central coast of Queensland, the Whitsundays up in the northeast and the far north, across the Gulf, and more stormy activity. So what we usually call monsoon break activity, but obviously we've had no monsoon, so I guess we call it at this time build-up storm activity in this case, will continue across the tropics, and that is likely to continue in the near future. Okay, we've moved on to the rainfall outlook for the next week. So as you can see, there's potentially of quite a bit of rainfall around the eastern half of Queensland and up into the Cape. This will mostly be due to thunderstorm activity. Same as with the Gulf. The few spot parts around the inland will be also to do with isolated thunderstorms. And you can see we've got an increase in rainfall over the top end again, mostly to do with thunderstorms and things like that. So that's what we're expecting up there in the next coming week. Now we'll just move down a little further south so we can see. See, Victoria, most of Victoria is expected to see some rainfall. And there'll be some rainfall across the western side of Tasmania as well. So it looks like there's just be some cold fronts sweeping through over the next week, and bring in some cool cloudy weather, rainy weather across down there. Right, we're just going to do a bit of a review or talk through Cyclone Finna and how she progressed. So at the moment I'm using Zoom Earth, and I'm just playing it as I talk, so you can see the progress of that system as it went. So at the moment we're on the 21st of November here, and this was when she was just approaching the Northern Territory for her first landfall. And yeah, at this point she was approaching the mainland for the first landfall. So she was an interesting storm. She died off up in the Arafura Sea. I live up here and I don't even know what it's called. I think that's how you pronounce it. And she went a little further east than some models had her going. She was a difficult cyclone to forecast in the beginning. In her very early life, when she was over here, when she first formed, modelling was so out of whack that it was really, really hard to even forecast if it was going to reach cyclone strength to begin with. At that point, it had, in a few days' time, it was going to hit the Kimberley as a Category 4 or something. I can't remember now, but it was pretty insane. But eventually, she got her act together and decided what it was going to do. And in the end, the Darwin region was the most badly hit. So we're just going to pause it here. So this is about when she was just to the north of the mainland here. You can kind of see a little bit of an eye just there. Around here is her centre at that point, somewhere around there. I am here, so that's where you saw the footage I was taking from around there. So the eye wall extended quite far out, about there. There's a destructive line. Approximately, it might be a little bit actually. Anyway, it was close to that. I was under it at one point. My little drawings there are probably a little off whack there, but anyhow. And she slowly made her way down here. The Category 1 winds came out probably around there, approximately. So Darwin mostly got just the Category 1 winds. There were a bit of gusts around that did quite a bit of damage, but the official gauge registered around 100 kilometers an hour. Now, in this little area, there's the East Point weather station about here. There's a Gunpoint one right next to me. The airport one is around here, and there's a couple of others dotted about, but not in those exact places. But there's a few others, maybe one up there as well. So they're not in the best positions to register cyclone winds. So as a result, we probably didn't actually get the exact readings of what she produced for the area, but still gave a good idea. So let's just progress this along a little tad. Just zoom out a little bit so you can see her properly. So at that point, she was very slow moving when she was up in this area. Took forever. I even made the comment at one point that it's like, okay, can you stop now? Because it just went on for so long. But slowly she did move west. She caused a bit of havoc over here in the Cox Peninsula and down by Dundee down here. But nothing too dramatic as far as I'm aware. Now, as she progressed during the couple of days afterwards, she slowly made her way down towards the Kimberley coast, and it's about at this point that she turned into a Category 4. And you can see that she starts to develop more of a visible eye in there. It's not perfectly visible, but it's a lot more visible than it had been. And she's looking quite, to be completely honest, quite beautiful for a cyclone right about that point. And she kept going as a Category 4 for a few days, so a day or two, before she weakened just as she made landfall on WA. Problem is, she did actually stall at landfall. So when she actually made it to the shore, let me just, oops, instead of making dots, let's pause that and just progress a little further. So when she actually made it to the WA shore as a Category 3, she stalled. And as a result, it was about 6 hours of Category 3 winds hitting a resort area over there. Now, up here, and including that particular place, that resort, I think it was a resort, I've seen photos of it broken. They are built to cyclone code. The problem is, when you get a cyclone that has stalled and you're getting pummeled by 155 km/h sustained winds and gusts up to near 200 km/h winds, cyclone code or no cyclone code, it's going to damage buildings. Because these ratings are designed for your average cyclone that doesn't usually hang around more than a couple of hours and it's gone. Usually. But in this particular case, the system stalled, or at least went really slow moving, just as her eye wall started to make landfall on the coast of WA. So that's why that building got completely wrecked, that resort or whatever it was over there, got completely and utterly wrecked. So hopefully the people that got, and the communities out there that got affected, as well as the communities on the south of Tiwi's round here, where she actually made her second landfall through here, hopefully they can all recover quickly and life isn't disrupted for too long. So I've paused at this point here. I just let it run for a little while I pause the recording. And as you can see here, she is a complete mess. So this was this afternoon. And it's well and truly breaking up. Some of the weather has pushed out towards Darwin. There was a few showers coming down from the northwest earlier today near me, up here. So up there. And yeah, there's a few showers around, but nothing too dramatic. So that's about it. So that's an overview on the progression of Cyclone Finna. Now we'll just swap over to this. So this is the weekly rainfall. And as you can see, a lot of rain fell around here. So very close to where she went, and especially on the the southeast part. So the southeast part of it had a lot of rainfall where I was. So I recorded 388 millimeters for the 2 days. So that was the day she went past and the day prior when she was down here somewhere. And yeah, other places, Middle Point, I think, recorded over 400 millimeter in a very short period, which is around, Middle Point is around there somewhere. Can't really see that. Let me just change the color. So Middle Point is around here somewhere. That's a lot of somewhere, but around here. And there was a persistent line of storms and stuff going down from the north, tracking down this way. So it just persistently brought rainfall for that area. For Darwin itself, saw a little bit less, up to 300 millimeters. The Dundee area saw around 300 to 400 millimeters, and down by Wadeye they saw about 200 to 300 millimeters, and it just decreased as you went in further inland. So you can see where she stalled during the day on the 22nd was close to where I was, and around here where she was just pushing those showers in continuously all day. Where she made her first landfall isn't much rainfall there. So yeah, that's where she did actually shift across into the Van Diemen Gulf. And yeah, she stalled or slowed down around this area when she went into a Category 3. And yeah, caused quite a lot of rainfall and persistent winds, cyclonic winds for a good while. And I can contest to it because I was there. I was right in the best area that was that you could actually see it, other than on the Tiwis around there. That was obviously closer to the eye, but yeah, for the Darwin mainland, where I was definitely the prime location to watch it, and I was pretty sheltered down out there as well. Well, that's about all for this video, and yeah, there was a lot to talk about, but that's about all I've got for today. And as usual, thank you for watching and have a good day.